Hello and welcome back to part 2, making straight razor. Gonna go ahead and start off right where we left off. So we left off with the oven. I put the blade in, set the program, and right now I just turned the alarm off. It's at 1550 degrees. The quench specs say 1500. When I open that door, that's the door right here, it's probably gonna drop. It generally drops to 1530, but as I take the knife out and move it up, it's going to drop substantially. So I go with 1550, 50 degrees over what it says to do, just to kind of make sure that when it hits that quenching oil, it's at 1550. This recipe has worked for me. I make very hard steel from this particular treatment. And as far as straight razors go, you're looking for maximum edge retention, and that comes from wicked hard steel. So without further ado, let's go ahead and see this quench. Okay, let's see what we got. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this oil and move it down here so you guys can go ahead and see that. I can't guarantee fire or anything like that. Generally, it's smoky. Oh, and there it is. Hot as fuck. Quick. Hey, there we go. So what I just did is I brought 1550 degree steel down to about 200 degrees in seconds. Now that hardens the living crap out of the steel. I could not drill through it. Would not with a fox. And basically, we've taken it and turned it into a knife. So it's hard, it's not sharp, and I got a lot of work to do before this ugly duckling becomes the swan that it will be. Alright, here we go. This is what I call post-heat treat grinding. This is the most difficult, challenging part. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this now hardened piece of steel, I'm going to grind it down to as thin as I can, sharpen it, grind it a bunch of times, all the while not overheating it. You overheat it, you damage the heat treat, you got to start over. So basically, this is the important bee's knees part of a straight razor. So go ahead and watch as I do this, and that's it. Alright, so basically you're going to notice me dunking this in the water a lot. There's two reasons for that. One, to keep it cool, to not ruin the heat treat, and two, because I don't want to hurt my fingers. A lot of people say, why don't you wear gloves? This is it. This particular reason is why knife makers, especially straight razors, don't wear gloves, because we need to feel if this is getting hot. It's warm to the touch, but it's not, it's not too bad. Basically, it's like if you left something out in the sun for a little while, and that's fine. What's not fine is if I were to overheat this to the point where it turned blue, or any other color really for that matter. I don't want to do that. That's an absolutely essential piece to making a straight razor. Is keeping this razor, I realize the light's probably, it's keeping this razor as perfectly heat treated as possible. That's going to be something I fight the entire time, all the way up till the end. Okay, here's a little trick that I learned a long time ago. I don't always do it, but it is very helpful if you're learning. This can be used on knives and straight razors. So basically, I'm putting on your die cam. I can't remember the name of it. It's already ruined itself because I think it's die cam. Your layout fluid, whether it be red, blue, whatever color you prefer. I prefer blue. And you're gonna let it dry a little bit. So one set. Okay, so we got dried up layout fluid on our straight razor right now. And I've got myself my calipers. Now this is a pretty clever little trick that you might be able to utilize and you might not be able to. Depends on you. And you take it, so this is 10 millimeters, and I'm going to score as I go. Now I've already made it past 10 millimeters, which is right here, but it would help me know as I'm going where 10 millimeters actually lies on the blade. This is kind of important for all blades, but I find it to be especially important when it comes to smiling razors. Now it doesn't matter what increments you use, as long as you use the same increments on both sides. Now you can see that here I'm actually a little bit off, and that's something that's good to know right now so that I can fix it before I try and sharpen, and that angle of the bevel is slightly less, or more, would be less, than the other side. So that one's better than that side, and that's fine. You know, we're kind of going. Always check, always be skeptical that you are actually doing the work correctly, because there will never come a point in anyone's career of doing anything that we don't make mistakes. We all make mistakes. So that's a quick little trick. You can do as many scores as you want to make that happen. I hope you can see it. I know the lighting's terrible and I apologize. But if you're trying and you're having a hard time getting your grinds even, using layout fluid in different score marks along your blade, so 10 millimeters from your blade, blah blah blah, 15, 20 millimeters, whatever it is, just do multiples. You can actually see it, you can see the grind come up to it. And yes, I'm a little bit off and I will adjust accordingly. Alright, I'm going to go for a little bit more hollow than this. This is done up to this point with a 4-inch wheel. It's a good shave at this point, but I'd like to push it a little bit further, a little more towards full hollow. So what I did, as you can see here, was I switched out back to the flat plating, you know, the thing that I used for profiling. Instead of using, obviously, the flat part, I just kind of rotated it towards me. And now I'm going to be using this 2-inch wheel. So that's what I'm doing. Alright, now I'm going to taper the tang so that when it swings through, you don't have any issues with it hitting the scale. It's pretty basic. Really no reason to explain it. I'll just show you how to do it. Alright, so we got a new belt on here. And the thing I like about these belts from Phoenix Abrasives is that they have this backing, you can see here. What it kind of does is it adds a little bit of softness. And it's kind of nice for the high grit application. So let's go ahead and polish that a little bit. Okay, so in part one, you saw me drill the holes into the blade. Oh, no, you didn't. Dang it. Sorry, I missed showing you all that. Anyways, there's a bunch of holes in the blade, and you really only need one, so what the heck did I drill multiples for? Well, you're about to see. Basically, I'm going to take some brass, I'm going to put it in there, and it's going to look cool. It's serving a function other than looking cool. So I'm going to set you down, you can watch me kind of do it, and yeah. Hi, Gigi. That's probably a better view. Anyways, while the battery was being dead, I decided to go ahead and finish putting these little pins in. Pretty simple way to decorate. Basically, once I'm done, I'll go back through and sand them down, and they should be flush. And if anything doesn't look right, I'll pop them out, put a new one back in, paint it again, flush it again, and just make sure everything looks good. Because they stick out, I don't know if you can see that, and that would actually be bad, so I'll have to go through right now and pop them off. Then it's ready for acid. Okay, so this is a solution of just water and ferric chloride, which ferric chloride is basically a copper etchant. You can buy it at any hobby shop and mix it a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in there. The reason I'm doing this is because this is actually a Damascus steel, and when it comes out, it'll be pretty. Just stand out here and wait for my acid to do its thing. And watch my ridiculous dogs, which I happen to have a lot of. I shall show you. A lot of dogs. Come here, buddy. Alright, here's the acid after just a couple minutes. No, I'm not done yet. I'm going to do some hand sanding and stuff just to make sure everything looks even. But I like to do this to kind of give me an idea. Because I can, why not? And that's it. So I'm going to start bevel setting, I guess you could say. It's not really bevel setting, it's more like checking to see what the bevel is going to look like and then fixing it. Because if I were to just go ahead and sharpen it right now, the bevel would be very big and nobody likes that on a straight razor. So I'm going to go find my DMT stone and start hacking away at this and bringing that bevel thinner and thinner and thinner. Basically the reason for that is it makes it easier to sharpen, not just for me, but for the next person. And a good straight razor is one that can be sharpened easily and quickly. Take this on my grittiest stone, which is this DMT stone. It's basically a piece of steel. This is, what is it? Die sharp, 120 micron, has an arrow pointing up. As if I didn't know. And I'm just gonna start rubbing it to see what the bevel is. I'll show you guys what I mean. Alright, so as you can see here, the bevel, I can't quite see it, but you guys can. It looks good, but if I were to keep going, because there's actually about anyways, I'll keep going and I'll get it actually sharp. I'll get it sharp and then I'll see what the bevel looks like. My guess is it'll be quite wide. By that I mean the shining part will be pretty high up. Then I'll go back to the grinder and regrind it until I can do that and it'll look right. Alright, so this is exactly what I'm talking about. That right there. I need to go back to the grinder and kind of just bring this whole thing down thinner. That's pretty much it. I mean, it's the simplest form, the way to say it. It's just too thick. Thicker razors here will make for bigger bevels. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad razor, so if you get one from a maker or something and it has a big old fat bevel like that, I wouldn't be too concerned about it. The only thing that kind of sucks is that the person you send it out to hone is going to have to hone more material. The dog's about to fight, so that's all I'm going to say about that.